At 16, my family kicked me out after my adopted sister framed me. 10 years later, she confessed, but it was too late. They'd already destroyed me. My parents adopted my sister Violet when I was 12. She was 10, came from a rough background, and needed a stable home. I was excited to have a sister. I gave her half my room, shared my clothes, and defended her at school when kids asked questions. For 2 years, we were close. Then something shifted. Violet started lying about small things. She'd eat my snacks and say I gave them to her. She'd borrow my jewelry and claim it was always hers. She'd tell my parents I said mean things when I wasn't around. I tried talking to her about it. She cried and said I was making her feel unwelcome. My parents told me to be more understanding. She'd been through trauma. I needed to be patient. When I was 16, my mom's wedding ring went missing. It was a family heirloom worth about $15,000, passed down from my great-grandmother. My mom was devastated. 3 days later, Violet came to my parents crying. She said she saw me hiding something in my closet. My mom searched my room and found the ring in a shoebox under my bed. I had never seen it before. I told them I didn't take it. I begged them to believe me. I said Violet must have put it there. My father's face turned to stone. You're blaming your sister for your own crime? My mother wouldn't even look at me. I can't trust you anymore. They gave me 2 choices: admit what I did and go to therapy, or leave. I refused to confess to something I didn't do. So they drove me to my aunt's house with 1 suitcase and told me not to come back until I was ready to take responsibility. My aunt let me stay for 3 months before she said she couldn't handle the strain on her relationship with my parents. I couch surfed with friends until I turned 17. Then I got a job at a diner and rented a room from an elderly woman who needed help around the house. I finished high school through night classes while working full-time. I didn't attend graduation. There was no one to watch me walk. For 10 years, I built a life from nothing. I got my GED, then a degree in nursing. I worked my way up from floor nurse to charge nurse to nursing supervisor. I bought a small condo. I adopted a dog named Biscuit. I went to therapy and learned that my worth wasn't defined by people who refused to see the truth. I had no contact with my family. They never reached out. I assumed they'd moved on, happy with their version of events. Then, 3 months ago, I got a letter. It was from my mother. She said Violet had confessed everything. Violet had been in rehab for addiction, and part of her recovery was making amends. She told my parents she'd stolen the ring to sell for money. When she couldn't go through with it, she panicked and hid it in my room. She let me take the blame because she was scared of being sent back to foster care. My mother's letter was 4 pages long. She said she was sorry. She said she'd made a terrible mistake. She said she wanted to reconnect and be a family again. She said my father was too ashamed to write, but he missed me every day. I read the letter twice and felt nothing. For 10 years, I dreamed of this moment. I thought I'd cry or scream or feel vindicated. Instead, I just felt tired. I wrote back 1 paragraph. I was 16 years old. I begged you to believe me, and you chose her. You watched me pack my things and leave. You let me become homeless rather than consider that she might be lying. Your apology doesn't give me back my teenage years. It doesn't erase the nights I slept on floors or the birthdays I spent alone. I survived without you. I don't need you now. 2 weeks later, my father called. I answered because I wanted to hear what he'd say. We made a mistake, he said. His voice was rough. We should have believed you. Yes, you should have. Can we start over? Can we try to rebuild something? I thought about it for a long moment. No, please. We're your parents. You stopped being my parents when you put me on the porch with a suitcase. Parents don't do that. Parents ask questions. Parents investigate. You just believed her because it was easier. He started crying. I'd never heard my father cry before. We didn't know. We thought we were doing the right thing. You thought wrong, and I paid for it. Not you, not Violet, me. I hung up. Violet tried to contact me through social media. Her message said she was sorry, that she'd been a scared kid, that she thought about me every day. I blocked her without responding. Last month, I got a promotion at the hospital. I'm now the director of nursing for the entire facility. I make more money than my parents ever did combined. I have friends who became family. I have a life I built with my own hands. Some people get a second chance with the family that hurt them. They reconcile, forgive, and move forward together. That's not my story. My story is about learning that some wounds don't heal with apologies. Some damage can't be undone with a letter. My family had 10 years to find me. They had 10 years to question Violet's story, to reach out, to say they were wrong. They only apologized when Violet confessed. That's not regret. That's just being caught. I don't hate them, but I don't need them either. They destroyed me at 16. I rebuilt myself without them, and that's exactly how I plan to keep living.